Now, let's talk about the Bitcoin halving. Kanina, or from our previous video, sabi natin yung cryptocurrency is driven by fundamentals, and that fundamental is the Bitcoin halving. But what exactly is Bitcoin halving? Ano nga ba to? Now, let's find out. So, Bitcoin halving is a built-in event, meaning embedded na siya doon sa system, where the reward miners receive for validating new Bitcoin blocks is cut in half. So, kasi in mining the Bitcoin, or for a miner to earn a Bitcoin, kailangan nilang mag-mine ng blocks. And by mining blocks, it does not literally mean na magmimina sila. Sa Bitcoin mining, nakakapagmina sila ng Bitcoin by using computers and solving mathematical equations. Basically, that's how Bitcoin mining is, or that's what it is. And Bitcoin halving is an event doon sa code ng cryptocurrency wherein yung Bitcoin blocks or yung Bitcoin na nare-receive ng miners in turn for doon sa pagmamining or doon sa pagsosolve ng complex calculations or whatever it is nahati sa kalahati. Nahati siya. And it happens roughly every 4 years or every 210,000 blocks. So, 4 years is just an approximate or an estimation. And the block reward started at 50 Bitcoin. So, imagine if you mine a block or if you solve a block, then you will earn 50 Bitcoin. Imagine how much it costs right now, right? But that's in 2009, wherein the price or hindi pa siya ganong kalaganap or wala pang value siya. People don't see it as a valuable asset yet. And it halves or nakakalahati siya each time. Kaya nga, tinawag siyang Bitcoin halving. Kasi nga, nahahati yung rewards for every 4 years, approximately 4 years. And since we started in 2009, which is from 50 Bitcoin, naging 25 siya, naging 12.5, naging 6.25, and currently a 3.125 Bitcoin after the 2024 Bitcoin halving. Now, sa next is 2028, meaning mahati ulit itong reward na to, which is 3.0625 something. Now, this continues until the total supply reaches 21 million Bitcoin. Kasi nga, 21 million Bitcoin is fixed supply, and since Bitcoin runs on a blockchain, meaning it's a connected blocks that cannot be changed or hindi na siya pwedeng baguhin. Meaning, etong 21 million Bitcoin na to is fixed na supply. Meaning, hindi na siya pwedeng madagdagan. Okay? And, actually, this solves the inflation. Diba? It could be, or it could pose a problem sa fiat currency. Kasi nga, Bitcoin is anti-inflation or deflationary. So, instead na bumaba yung value or humina yung purchasing power ng pera mo sa Bitcoin, it is a deflationary currency, meaning instead na tumaas siya, instead na humina yung purchasing power mo, is lalakas pa siya. Now, why do you think it exists? Again, sabi nga natin kanina, Bitcoin is deflationary. So, Bitcoin is or existing in order to control the supply for the purpose of beating the inflation or anti-inflation. And to mimic scarcity, kagaya ng gold, 21 million lang yung existing supply niya. Meaning, hindi na siya pwedeng madagdagan or anything. Pwede siyang mabawasan, yes, in cases where there are certain individuals na loss yung private keys, yung or whatever keys they have doon sa Bitcoin, sa pag-access ng Bitcoin, which makes the supply scarcity or scarce. Diba? Mas lalong bumababa yung supply na nagsisirculate sa market. So ngayon, if by the law of demand and supply, kapag mababa yung supply and mataas yung demand, then most likely magdadrive yung price pataas, right? That's why kung makikita nyo, if every 4 years, approximately 4 years, mamaya makikita natin sa chart na umaakyat yung price ng Bitcoin. Next is to prevent unlimited issuance and currency debasement. Again, anti-inflation siya. But currently, right now, kung makikita nyo, medyo volatile pa yung price ni Bitcoin. So, I wouldn't say na it's a perfect way to store your money, especially since if ginagamit nyo siya for everyday use. But if let's say 5-10 years, then probably it's a good way to store a value or your money. And it also existed as a response to the 2008 global financial crisis when trust in banks, governments, and monetary policy collapsed. So, if natatandaan nyo yung 2008 global financial crisis, nagkaroon ng kawalan ng tiwala sa bangko, diba? Or sa government's monetary policy. And that's where the Bitcoin comes in. Kasi nga, diba, Bitcoin doesn't need any financial intermediaries or third parties or banks para mag-run or magkaroon ng palitan, diba? And one thing that makes it good is that yung fees na binabayaran is lower in comparison with the remittances or any fees na binabayaran natin sa bangko, sa remittance centers, or whatever. Now, next is the Bitcoin halving. Again, sabi natin kanina, for every 4 years, which is the Bitcoin halving, the approximately Bitcoin halving, nagkakaroon tayo ng pagtaas sa price. And kung makikita nyo, the first halving happened in 2012, right? And kung makikita nyo, after or even before pa lang siya mag-halving, umaakit na yung price. Since palapit ng palapit yung halving hanggang sa magkaroon ng halving siya, Bitcoin halving, umakyat yung presyo ng Bitcoin. Simply because nahati nga yung rewards. Meaning, mas kumukonti yung pwedeng mamina na supply. So ngayon, kung tumataas yung demand, dumadami yung nag-a-adapt on this certain coin, and yung supply niya is fixed lang, then what will happen is, of course, it will make the price soar, right? The price will soar higher and higher. Now, here's another example. The second halving, which happened on July 9, 2016. Again, makikita nyo, umakyat ulit siya. Right? Or before pa siya umakyat, nagsisimula na siyang mag-trending market. Right? Going up and down. Then the next one, we also have this one. Yan. Nakikita nyo, at the end, umakyat pa rin siya. And then the fourth halving, which happened on April 20, 2024. Now, kung makikita nyo, ayan, nagkaroon tayo ng series of higher highs and higher lows. Now, even though yung halving is a fundamental event or a built-in event wherein the Bitcoin reward that you will receive will split into half, doesn't mean na it's a risk-free asset. Well, yes, it could be, or it could help you store a value, but it doesn't mean na you have to go all in or invest all of your money sa Bitcoin or whatsoever. You have to, again, take cautious kasi nga, we have to diversify. Hindi porke nakikita natin sa Bitcoin halving or sa chart na for every 4 years, umaakyat siya, doesn't mean na gagawin na natin, bibili na agad tayo ng napakarami. I mean, yes, pwede, only if you can afford to lose what you spend. Okay? Again, spend what you can afford to lose. Kasi at the end of the day, we cannot say what will happen sa market. And babalik tayo doon sa random walk theory. That the market is influenced by different factors. And therefore, we cannot say kung anong mangyayari sa financial market. Whether it's a crypto, forex, or the stock market, no one knows what will happen. Okay? And in this market, we will only base on probabilities and not on certainty. Kasi nga, dito sa market na to, walang kasiguraduhan. And everything can happen. Okay? So that's it for the Bitcoin basics. See you guys sa next video.